Why choose ordinary when you have the option to choose something which is handmade, ready to ship, made by the mothers of India? When I thought of this idea and when I really started working on it, my mother was totally against. A typical mom, she used to tell me, "Edi bhai, padhai kitti, you studied so much and you carved a niche for yourself in the corporate world and now you want to do this." My husband is like, मतलब तूने कुछ भी नहीं से इतना कुछ बना दिया. Soha Ali Khan, Neha Dhupia, Hina Khan, and to my surprise, even Kangana Ranaut's sister and sister-in-law are our customers.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Two for Joy Studio. Today we have a very interesting personality here with us, Ms. Kanchan Vaidya. She's the founder of the Original Knit, which is really doing well. And today she's here to share her thoughts and talk about the brand that she's been able to build in a very short span of time. So welcome to the show, Kanchan.
Thank you. Pleasure.
How are you feeling today?
Lovely.
That's very nice. Okay, so Kanchan, why don't you take us through the journey of Original Knit, how it started and what was the thought that provoked you to start this venture of your own?
The Original Knit just happened to me when my son was born in the year 2009. I was just scrolling through internet and I came across this beautifully handcrafted crochet socks. And to my surprise, they were being sold by a foreign website and they were not available in our country. So, that time there was this idea that cropped up in my head and I thought that why not do something around it? But then life happened. I got busy with my professional and my personal life.
Right.
And after many years, when I was traveling to my hometown, Mandi, one of the afternoons, I saw my mother wearing a beautifully handcrafted pair of socks. And the idea that I had dropped, years ago, that was reignited, rekindled in my head.
Very nice.
And, that just took me down the memory lane. And I could remember the ladies, who used to knit and crochet in the winter sun, and they used to knit for their near and dear ones. And I thought that, now the retail availability of this craft is limited, especially in big cities. And also, I started thinking that when so much of importance is given to, machine made or summer wear, we accentuate it, we embellish it. Why winter wear is such an ignored or boring category, and handmade is not even a recognized category. So that was the thought. And then, I thought that, why not just do it?
When you saw that pair of socks your mother was wearing, was that the typical Himachali patti wali socks or was that different knit?
It was a different knit. It was knit by my cousin's wife. But those were trending, those days. And I was not aware of it. But later, when I explored, I realized that those were trending. And so that was latest, but not those typical Himachali
Typical
socks.
Himachali nahi tha.
No.
This thing, you got that spark in 2009.
Yeah.
And from 2009, then you were also, as I'm told, a HR professional, basically.
Right.
And from the HR professional, you transitioned into a businesswoman.
Yeah.
And then you took this spark that happened in 2009 to a different level altogether.
Right.
So why don't you take us through that journey of yours?
Yeah. So, I was working in the HR. I did my master's from Himachal Pradesh University. I did Master of Personnel Management in 2002. Then I moved to Delhi. I worked in the human resources for almost 10, 12 years. Before that, I worked in call centers and then I transitioned into HR. And after that, I got married and then, business happened. So, the journey was quite insightful and full of challenges. And, but along the way, I met a lot of good people, those who mentored me. I learned from them along the path and I created what I created.
Being a human resources professional, Do you think that played any role in your company or brand building, which helped you aggrandize or collect these lovely ladies that you work with? Did the HR aspect help you in that, or was it a different road that you took?
Yeah, coming to think of it, yes, it did. I was a people's person from the beginning. Before even I did HR, I was a people's person. I was social, and I was, like I had a lot of friends and everything. So, but yes, the people management aspect of my education did help, and it did bring that extra, extra spike to it. And I was able to crack, few deals, and I was able to get that community and the crafters together, which was because of my.
How many women are involved in this company with you?
So when I say the crafters, they're close to 300 plus, close to 350. And then we have our head office in Gurgaon, where we have 11 people working.
So these crafters, they are primarily city women, or would it be from the village side or the countryside?
Yeah, so they're a mix of it, but the major population of crafters are in small towns. We have few crafters from Himachal and small villages of Punjab, Haryana,
Right.
and Uttar Pradesh as well.
Could you take us through the process of manufacturing of your products?
Yeah,
Before we get into the scaling of it,
sure.
we would like to hear a little bit about how do you pursue, because there are many people who are viewing this
Right.
and would love to be inspired from your example.
So how it works is first we finalize the patterns that we're going to launch that particular year, and then we share it with the crafters, the sample or the photo of that particular pattern, and then we make sure that we deliver yarn at the doorstep
Of the crafter.
of the crafter. Yeah, because that way you maintain at least 50-60% of the quality, because when the raw material is coming from a good company, it is good when it comes to quality. So we deliver raw material, we deliver every embellishment to them, and then we have spocks, those single point of contact for every group. They
Right.
maintain the quality for us and the quantity, and they bring it to scale. And after that, when these one of the product is made, the pictures are shared with us or the sample is couriered. We check whether it is in sync with what we need, and after that, once the approval comes in, we go ahead into producing them in bulk. And when everything is done, it comes to our head office in Gurgaon. Once again, a quality check is done, and then the photo shoots and everything around
Yeah,
it, going to the
yeah.
marketplaces and everything, our own website. So all that background work happens.
So when we talk in terms of quality control, how do you ensure that the product that you've created is, because it's being locally produced
Yeah.
by different women?
Yeah.
And do you have kind of a protocol for quality checks for them as well? And then you recheck that protocol in the head office in Gurgaon that you have? How does it happen?
So see, the major, when I talk about, quality, other than quality, we have this standardization that we have made
So
in
you
terms
have
of...
a SOP for...
Yeah, in terms of patterns and in terms of the sizing. Okay, and when the quality per se, when we do the quality check, as I said, we have spocks who do that. And then when it comes to the head office, we again do a quality check. If it fails, then we have, crafters sitting there in the office also, 2-3 of them. They try to fix it. If it doesn't happen, then we do not want to get that substandard product to the
Wonderful.
market.
So
we just unravel it, we discard it.
Right. Do you find time to personally evaluate each and every assignment coming, or do you have people for that?
So initial days I used to do it myself, but now no, I don't. I mean, I have a team who looks after all of that.
Right, right. So what would the size of the team?
So we have 10 people in the head office, and a few of them are packers and operations people who do packing and order processing and everything.
Wonderful. This thought came to you in 2009, and then eventually you started a proprietorship, perhaps
In 2017,
initially,
yeah.
in 2017.
Yeah.
How did it happen after that? Once you opened the proprietorship, what were the sales like in the first year or second year of
Okay.
operations?
So before that, before we actually registered, I developed, a product which I thought was minimum viable, and I could launch it. So after launching it, before that, I took a lot of feedback from strangers about the product, and then when we were ready with the product, we launched it. And in 2017, approximately sometime then, we launched on First Cry. Before that, I was selling on small Facebook groups just to check the feel. And when we were well accepted by customers, 2017 we registered as a proprietorship firm, and we launched on First Cry. And from there we got a good response. I mean, we were able to clock a sale of 70 lakhs the first year of proprietorship firm.
Wonderful. That's
Yeah.
really impressive.
Thanks.
So, first year sales was 70 lakhs.
Right.
And then you scaled up further.
Yeah.
You didn't end there.
Yeah.
So, the first year of proprietorship was 70.
Yeah.
And then what happened the next couple of years?
So after that, during Corona, of course, it was a little setback for almost every business. But we were lucky enough to sail through. We still paid our employees. We still kept producing. And then, I realized that putting all your eggs in one basket is not a good strategy. And that time, I decided to launch my own website. We started doing a lot of SEO around it, digital marketing and performance marketing and all of that, creating a lot of content for social media. So that is what the strategy was later. And then we went on different marketplaces. We went on Myntra and Flipkart. Flipkart and Amazon is very recent, but we were majorly on First Cry and on website, and later Myntra as well.
Myntra is a big brand to be associated with. How did the First Cry thing happen?
It was again, I was constantly working hard without even thinking that, how to reach that end customer. And First Cry discovered me somehow, and they called me. There was this lady, and there was something new business that they were starting within First Cry. And then she called me and she said that we want to showcase your products. So that time I didn't have any formal, GST or VAT number or whatever. So the idea kind of, got dropped. But later, the next year, I reached out to them and I told them that, you had approached me the previous year, and how about, we start now.
Right.
So that is what. So basically, they discovered me. And when they discovered me, I realized that, okay, this is also a probability, I mean, aisa bhi ho sakta hai.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So that way you've really percolated the Indian market with the help of First Cry and brands like Myntra, etc., including Amazon, which is pretty much the most happening kind of area.
Yeah,
in
but the
country.
biggest sale that we get in today's time is from our own website.
Oh, that is fantastic. So that means you've gone beyond the Myntra and the Amazon and the First Cry.
Yeah.
And today, this is spectacular. Wonderful.
Thanks.
Wonderful. So, I mean, I would like to dig a little more as to how did you grow into your own original niche, जो आपका brand है. How did that came into being? I mean, initially when you were doing it for First Cry and Myntra, were you branding it?
Yeah.
With your company brand and everything. And then how did you land up brand building the original niche, and how did you scale this to this extent that we are seeing today?
Yeah. So, as I said, when I was on First Cry, I realized that, this cannot be the way forward because, you were not recognized as a brand then. We were like one seller. So if anybody would ask from where did you buy, they would not say original knit, but they would say First Cry. So that used to bother me because that was my product and I wanted it to be known as the original knit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's the time we hired a PR agency. So they got us access into the celebrity, like there were a few celebrities who gave us shout outs and all of that.
Wonderful. May we know who the celebrities were and
So
how did
Soha,
that happen? This would be very interesting for the viewers.
yeah, so Soha Ali Khan, Neha Dhupia, and then organically it was Hina Khan. And to my surprise, even Kangana Ranaut's sister and sister-in-law are our customers.
Oh, wonderful.
And yeah, that I got to know when I saw, Kangana putting that Christmas attire onto her nephew in one of the Insta feeds.
Yeah. Okay, so you didn't know previously.
I didn't
You
know.
only came to know after she posted on Instagram.
Yeah, so before this, she had put one more post. And when I saw that, I was like, yaar, ye to mera product hai.
Wow.
And then, when you talk about these marketplaces, they just give you the name of the person who orders. They don't tell you the phone number or the email and all of that. So I saw Rangoli Chandel written and I was like, I know this name. And then I went on to my own website to look for it, and then I found their sister-in-law's name there, and I called her and I told her that I'm also from Mandi, and so because she is not a local, maybe she couldn't really relate to it, but then she was surprised and she was happy about the fact that I'm also one of them.
How was this thing perceived by your family? And once you started getting the numbers on board, how did your family react to it? And especially your husband, your child, and your mother. We would love to know more about your family involvement and contribution to the success that you've reached today.
So when I thought of this idea and when I really started working on it, my mother was totally against. So, like a typical mom, she used to tell me, "Edi bhai, padhai kitni, you studied so much and you carved a niche for yourself in the corporate world and now you want to do this." So, I was a rebel from the beginning and she had to agree to what I had decided to do. Unfortunately, I lost her, so she couldn't see the growth.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So she saw the initial journey, but she couldn't relate to it. But I'm sure if she was alive, she would have been really, really proud of me.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
yeah, my father feels happy about it, and my husband is like, "मतलब तूने कुछ भी नहीं से इतना कुछ बना दिया." So because I didn't like when people start business, they invest a lot of money. So I hear people, मेरा करोड़ों का रुपया लग गया, लाखों लग गए. So I just started with a very, very small amount, which is inconsequential. Just 20,000
I think this would
rupees.
be very interesting for the viewers. How much did you start with?
So as I said, it was a very small figure, so it was inconsequential, but to the best of my memory, it was not more than 15,000-20,000 that I started with.
And from 20,000, where are you today?
I'm like doing few crores, but yeah.
Wonderful. That's a great achievement. You've been talking about celebrities, you've been talking about Myntra, you've been talking about Amazon. There was also a mention of a Japanese firm getting interested in your products.
Yeah.
And a couple of multinationals that you've been working with.
Right.
Why don't you throw some light on that?
Yeah. So before I actually get into the question, let me just give you a background of this.
Sure.
So while we are into apparel business, we also launched do-it-yourself, DIY crochet and knitting kits for beginners on 6th of February 2023. So it became quite a hit amongst everyone, irrespective of the age group. And so, all these multinationals like Google and LinkedIn, and there's this Japanese multinational called Konica Minolta. They approached us and they wanted to create workshops, conduct workshops, and they wanted to, get our kits so that they can supply it to their, not supply, but gift it to their employees or their children so that, they could learn about sustainability and hand knitting and all of that, because this is all hand knit. So, they're learning a hobby.
Community involvement, and you're creating employment for people who are actually not behind the machines, but it is basically handicraft and everything is handmade.
Yeah.
So this is a very unique way of doing it, because people used to think that when you scale the production, machines definitely are required. And today in the world of AI, today in the world of robotics, when robots are taking over machinery, how do you foresee your brand going forward?
Right.
Do you think Roberts would be able to do it the way these ladies weave these products that you create?
See, ours is a very emotional product. Okay, so I mean, you must have heard in a lot of my conversations on my social media. I talk about the warmth and the love that dadis and nanis, put
Absolutely.
into their craft. So robots can never replace humans and the emotions, and so I don't think it's going to really impact us, because people who like handmade, those who like the quality and the warmth of handmade, they will always stick to handmade. And today, there's so many of us who really are going back to the roots.
We would love to know about that MNC aspect that you were touching upon. Can you share a little bit about how they approached you and what were they looking for in the brand? And what made them feel that, yes, this is the product we would like to be associated with and would like to associate their company employees with?
Right. So the lady who approached us, she said that she's been following us on Instagram from quite some time, and she was really impressed with the way we were, kind of promoting our DIY kits. So she said that she was looking for an opportunity, and when the requirement came in her organization, she reached out to us. And why she did that was because they wanted to gift it to their employees and to the employees' kids, because they wanted to promote handmade.
Right.
And they wanted the kids to be engaged in something which is meaningful and which is more productive, because crochet and knitting is also associated a lot with mental health, and it is believed to be therapeutic, and it kind of help you refocus and re-energize.
Very interesting. So, in the corporate life that people go through and in the rat race that they are in, they obviously need something different, which takes them on a different tangent.
Right.
And then they feel, and creativity, I mean, it's almost like you helping them create something new.
Right.
That is why your DIY kits are doing so nicely.
Right.
How are you penetrating the market basically in terms of marketing? What kind of brand building measures are you taking? And what is helping you scale up this journey?
So, we make sure that, we kind of put our branding everywhere, be it on our advertisements that we do or on our packaging and everywhere else. And as far as the penetration is concerned, we do quite a lot of SEO. So we rank on the first page on many keywords, and that's a long journey. And then we do a lot of performance marketing, wherein we work very closely with marketing agencies for our digital marketing. And other than that, yes, through marketplaces, you get that visibility.
Do you have designers on board, or do you outsource that aspect, or is it...
Which part of design?
The branding.
Yeah.
And you have designers on board. Okay. So you have designers, and how do you analyze the customer's mind? How do you know that this is what the customer is going to like, and this is what might not work?
Right. So, the customers' choices are like unpredictable, I would say, because at times I think that, this will not really sell, but it sells overnight. Because the kind of diversity we are dealing with, we are like selling pan India, and then we are in few international markets as well. So, there's no scheme around it, but we make sure that we play with every color scheme. So if you look at our collection, we have all the subtle colors, and we have all bright yellow and oranges also. So our spread of products caters to almost every kind of customer. So my agenda always is that whosoever comes on the website should not go back because of dearth of designs or colors, and we try to really work around our price points also, so that we see high conversions.
Wonderful. So Kanchan, how do you handle failure?
So I think failures are like part and parcel of life, not only in business but generally in life also. You come across a lot of success and failures at times. So I do nothing. I mean, my mantra is simple: fight back.
Very nice.
Right?
Very
Yeah.
nice.
So you stand up and you fight back.
Yeah, that way it is amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, like the river flows into the ocean, each year carries us further on in our lives. We may not always know where we are headed, but if we give ourselves confidently to the flow of the current, we'll reach at places we've never even dreamed of.
Yeah, that's true.
So, Kanchan, there must be some challenges that you've been facing over the year. There must be several hurdles that you've come across, and there would be certain areas when you emotionally feel that let's give it up. There are times everybody goes through that time.
Yeah.
So, would you want to share that aspect, and how do you pull yourself up when that happens?
When I started this business, there were many challenges that I faced, and they were typical of any entrepreneurship journey. But the major challenge that I want to talk about was the challenge of fighting mindsets. Because when I thought of business, not many women from my hometown were doing business, and there was so much of skepticism around it. Around business itself, and especially the business I wanted to get into, knitting and crochet. It didn't exist, and it was not considered mainstream and a viable option. So fighting mindsets in the sense that convincing my own family and the community around me that this can also be a profitable business, and there's a lot of potential in it and a lot of opportunities.
Who were the people that you were fighting? Who were the mindsets that were really creating that problem for you?
Okay. So, since your childhood, you must have heard कि वो बोल रहा था, या लोग क्या कहेंगे. So, I've never met that person still.
Right.
But वही चीज़ के, my parents used to tell me, सब क्या बोलेंगे. और my husband used to tell me कि क्या है ये, मतलब, you're a working professional, you're doing good, continue doing that. तो और वो जो एक fear होता था ना कि what if I fail then, I mean, what do I do then? तो वो सब मेरे को समझाने में और कन्विंस करने में it took me a lot of time. And,
so it was easy to convince customers than your own family.
Yeah, that's true. But when they saw that initial success and when they saw that initial junoon in me, they knew कि ये नहीं मानेगी, यही करेगी.
Engaging 350 women across the northern belt of India is an incredible achievement that you've been doing, and we are very happy to hear that women entrepreneurs like yourself are contributing to not only to yourself and your own growth, but also the growth of the country. And we need more women entrepreneurs such as yourself who could actually commercialize the traditional aspects which used to be in the history of our growing up.
Yeah.
The times that we used to grow up. I remember my granny and my mom and my masi knitting, garments, pullovers and whatnot.
Right.
And you've taken that aspect as an inspiration for your business. So I think this is a beautiful area to touch upon. And that way, not only that you grow personally and commercially, but you also grow emotionally.
Right.
And that adds to your passion, perhaps.
Right. And you create social impact,
Exactly.
in the journey.
So that is where I was go to, in fact. And you making a significant social impact by involving such a huge group of ladies in your business and giving them hope for tomorrow. Like, you've been involving all these ladies over a period of time. And they are not only you growing with them, they are going with you as well.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
In terms of future, when we talk, so how do you foresee your company entering the international markets?
So we've already taken small steps towards it. For example, we initially used to focus only on B2B international sales. But now we have started focusing on B2C international sales as well. So we are focusing the US, UK and European countries.
The developed side of the world.
Yeah.
Are you only focused on the developed side, or do you want to look at the developing part of the world as well?
So we are just in a experimental stage. So, because the cost of advertising in international markets is like too much.
Too high. Yeah.
So, yeah. So, once we have some bit of success there, then of course we will.
So, from babies, would you want your brand to grow to elderlies and adolescents? Do you have that in your mind for future plans?
Yeah, so that is one of the future plans, but I don't see it happening like immediately because there are few other projects that we are working on, small new product launches, but yes, this is in the pipeline. Not this year, but maybe next year. If not the younger generation, but I really want to do it for the older generation because there are many people who reach out to us that I want to get it done for my father or for my old mother, and they're ready to pay the price for it.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
So pediatric is one area, and the other area is picking up is the geriatric area. Very interesting because to my and to normal circumstances, people in the age group of 25 to 35 is the main age group which is actually buying and selling and things like that.
Yeah.
But you're focusing your target area, kids being one and the geriatric side being the other. It's very interesting interplay because in both the segments you have somebody else buying for someone else.
True, that's true. Yeah.
Is that a kind of strategy that you're using, or is it happening automatically?
So, there's no strategy as such. My business is, more emotion driven than anything else. So whatever emotion I feel strongly about, I work around that.
Very interesting. The strategy is emotion.
Yeah.
How you balancing the business and the family together?
So my parents live in Mandi. And when I talk about my married life, yes, my husband, he's a IT professional. I have a teenager boy, he's 15 years old. So, all of them are like busy in their own lives, in their own professions and in their own studies that, we find less time as such. So, but whenever we find time in the day together, like we make sure we have one meal together, it'll sound very typical, but yeah. So lunch is together when my son comes back from home and that's the quality time. And before going to sleep, we spend some good time together and that's the time we
And that's everyday story.
That's yeah, pretty much.
Very nice. So you've been juggling both sides very evenly.
Yeah.
What is your success mantra? Share a few thoughts on how do you think this is possible for other viewers and other ladies, especially who are, thinking of such activities, becoming entrepreneurs and making it big. So what advice do you have for them?
Yeah.
And how do you foresee the future of your company?
So, self-made success, I think, is very important. First of all, it gives you that, ownership and accountability of your own life. You can, work around and, do things, make choices and take decisions which are aligned with your own values and goals. So, basically, it gives you, it makes you the master of your own life. So, that is what self-made success for me is. And the advice to the budding women entrepreneurs is that, just don't think too much and have that belief in yourself.
Self-belief is, I think, the major game changer.
Yes, self-belief and that resilience. You fall every day and then you stand up every day and work towards your goal. I think that is important. So, more than my advice to the women entrepreneurs, I want to give an advice to the, young girls of my state.
Hometown.
Yeah.
State, okay.
So, what happens is when you are growing up in a small town, if you are different when it comes to your thought process or your aspirations in life, there's nothing wrong about it. You can be belittled, people can call you names, but it is fine, continue to pursue your goal, क्योंकि आपको ना अपने आप से ज़्यादा और कोई नहीं जानता.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So they will not define. वो बात करेंगे, just let that be a stepping stone, move ahead, keep working towards your goal. or like I remember Kangna Ranaut says this, that shut people, with your success, right? So I strongly believe in that.
Very nice. Behind your vision, your goal, despite whatever came your way,
Right.
in a nutshell, we can say that.
And, I would say there was no defined thing as such that, I had this vision or I had this mission.
Or it just happened to
Yeah.
you.
So, we evolved with time. But the intent always was very clear and very simple. And, that intent is still kind of, it still stays
Ingrained.
with me and it is ingrained. And I just work with that pure intent.
Where do you want to take your brand to the next level that you are looking at?
Yeah, so growth for us have been a little slow because we have been bootstrapped. We have no investor money. We've never approached investors.
Oh, that's
So,
very interesting.
yeah, we've never approached investors, and there are few who showed interest, but as of now, we've decided to stay bootstrapped.
Yeah.
And the plans for me, I mean, what I really want is I want to open a big community store, a hobby store, which will be like, like these days when you travel abroad, you see a lot of wine and cheese happening. So I want, somebody should come and have coffee and knit and crochet together.
Yeah, I think if you incorporate angle of painting along with
Exactly.
a glass of wine and perhaps your DIY stuff,
Right.
I think
Yeah.
that's a very interesting area where people would like to go ahead. Your journey has been very inspirational, not only to our viewers and both the genders who are watching, but also to me
Thank
personally.
you. Thanks.
Thank you for coming on our show and sharing your insights. We are very happy to have you and we wish you a lot of success. What I really wish from your end is that you keep on inspiring and doing good work.
Thank you so
And
much.
the pure soul that you are, maintain that.
Thanks. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, that is all from Two for Joy. I hope you feel inspired and I hope you will also follow into the footsteps of what Kanchan has been doing. And we wish her all the best. Thank you, one and all. Bye-bye.